The galactic arena stretched as far as the eye could see. Towering walls of alien metal glimmered with energy, and every surface reflected the brilliant lights of thousands of stars projected inside. Tens of thousands of spectators crowded the stands, their voices a mix of curiosity, excitement, and arrogance. This was the greatest display of power the galaxy had ever seen, a showcase of champions, weapons, and civilizations that prided themselves on strength. And then the humans arrived. A small group stepped onto the arena floor, unarmored and calm. In their hands, nothing more than simple kitchen knives, blades that, by any standard of the galaxy, should have been laughable. No energy swords, no laser cannons, no shields. Only small, ordinary knives. The crowd roared, not in admiration, but in mockery. The aliens laughed, pointing and jeering. "Look at them," hissed a serpentine champion, its scales glittering under the lights. "These humans dare step into our arena with nothing but stick." Another, a massive insectoid warrior, stomped its legs in amusement. "They are weak. Fragile. Pathetic. A single swing of my blade could end them before they even blink." The humans did not react. They walked forward slowly, deliberately, their eyes calm, their movements controlled. No fear. No arrogance. Only confidence. One human, slightly taller than the others, stepped to the center of the arena. He held his kitchen knife loosely in one hand, letting the sunlight, or the artificial starlights, catch the edge. Slowly, he twirled it between his fingers, not as a weapon of destruction, but as a tool of mastery. The motion was elegant, precise, hypnotic. Spectators leaned forward in their seats, unsure what they were seeing. A simple human knife moving with the skill of a master craftsman? The whispers spread quickly. Is he serious? Is this some joke? The alien champions, however, were unmoved, at least at first. "Pathetic," one growled. "Prepare yourselves, comrades. Let's show these humans what power truly is." A massive alien warrior stepped forward, its armor shining with embedded weapons and energy shields. Its blade glowed, humming with deadly energy. "Your species is not ready for this," it said, voice like grinding metal. "Stand aside, or be destroyed." The human said nothing. He continued to twirl the knife, each motion deliberate, almost teasing. His calmness was unnerving, a stark contrast to the loud, brash movements of the aliens. The crowd began to sense it too. There was something strange about the way he moved, calm, measured, impossible to predict. The first strike came faster than anyone expected. The alien warrior lunged, swinging its massive blade in a deadly arc. But the human didn't dodge in a traditional sense. He stepped slightly to the side, his movements almost imperceptible, and the alien's blade sliced nothing but air. Another strike followed, fast, precise, but every swing missed. The human's knife flicked in his hand, ready, but never raised aggressively. Whispers turned into gasps. The alien crowd was stunned. How could a single human evade attacks meant to crush champions of countless species? "Impossible," a reptilian champion hissed. No creature could be so fast and yet so small. The human finally spoke, his voice calm, carrying across the arena. "Strength is not always measured by size. Weapons do not define skill. Mind and focus define victory." The aliens laughed, at first, thinking it a bluff. Then the whispers began again, tense now. Spectators leaned forward, sensing the first crack in centuries of alien arrogance. This human might not be weak, but strong. How could that be with nothing but a kitchen knife? The human twirled his blade again, now more deliberately. He dropped into a low stance, eyes focused, breathing steady. His movements were smooth, controlled, almost hypnotic. He shifted weight from foot to foot, reading the stance of the massive alien in front of him. Every slight movement of the opponent's arms, every tilt of the head, every flicker of the energy blade, was observed, calculated, and anticipated. The alien swung again, faster this time, energy blade humming and slicing the air. The human's knife moved just enough to deflect, barely touching the alien's weapon, but enough to throw off the timing. The audience gasped. A simple kitchen knife had disrupted a weapon that could cut through metal, stone, and armor. The tension in the arena was unbearable. No one knew what would happen next. The aliens, once confident and mocking, were now uneasy. Champions whispered among themselves, trying to figure out the human secret. Spectators, some who had laughed moments before, now watched in stunned silence. Finally, the human stood, knife lowered, eyes calm, and made no aggressive move. He did not need to. His confidence alone radiated a silent warning. Underestimating him would be the gravest mistake any alien could make. The alien warrior stopped mid-swing, confused. Pride and arrogance faltered. For the first time, the galaxy's greatest champions faced a simple truth: humans were unpredictable, dangerous, and not to be dismissed. A murmur rose through the crowd. Could a single human, armed with only a kitchen knife, truly challenge the galaxy's finest? The human twirled the knife once more, lightly, almost casually. His gaze swept across the arena. Calm, focused, ready. And in that quiet confidence, the arena understood a terrifying possibility. This was not weakness. This was mastery. And the game had only just begun. The arena was silent now, the echoes of laughter replaced by tension. Thousands of spectators held their breath as the massive alien warrior stepped forward, energy blade humming, armor gleaming with embedded power. This was the champion of champions, undefeated for centuries. And now he faced a human armed with nothing more than a simple kitchen knife. The alien swung first, a deadly arc of energy that could have sliced through the strongest metal. The human's eyes were calm, scanning the movements, reading each shift of the warrior's body. With a small sidestep, the human avoided the strike, the massive blade cutting only the air where he had stood a heartbeat before. Whispers rippled through the stands. The crowd had expected humans to fall immediately. Instead, they moved like shadows, precise and impossible to predict. "You are weak," the alien growled, voice like grinding metal. "Your species is not meant to face me." The human didn't reply. He lowered slightly, knife in hand, and waited. Another strike came, faster, sharper, aimed to overwhelm. The human moved again, just enough to redirect the energy. Sparks flew as knife met blade, a sound small but sharp in the vast arena. The crowd gasped. Sparks danced around the human's hand, but he was unharmed. The impossible was happening. A kitchen knife was holding its own against the galaxy's greatest weapon. The alien roared in frustration and swung again and again. Each attack was faster, more dangerous. The human danced, sidestepped, and blocked subtly with the small blade, never striking aggressively, yet slowly gaining the rhythm of the fight. Every move calculated, every dodge precise. In the stands, aliens whispered nervously. How is this possible?" one asked, scales shimmering in disbelief. No human could survive this. The human twirled the knife briefly and, in a small but precise movement, deflected the alien's next swing just enough to unbalance him. The champion staggered, struggling to regain footing. Gasps erupted throughout the arena. Even the alien generals had begun to sweat, realizing this was not a simple skirmish. The human advanced slightly, knife held low, calm, confident. The alien lunged, expecting a defensive posture. Instead, the human sidestepped again, using the momentum to gently tap the alien's armor joint, a touch so small it seemed harmless, yet it threw the alien completely off balance. The alien stumbled, nearly falling, and the arena erupted not in mockery, but in stunned silence. The audience could not believe what they had witnessed. A human, unarmed by their standards, was outmaneuvering the mightiest warrior of the galaxy. The lead alien general stepped forward, claws clicking on the metal floor. "Stop this foolishness. No human can survive." But the human ignored him. His eyes scanned the arena, focusing entirely on the champion in front of him. He didn't attack aggressively. He simply let the alien make mistakes, each one carefully anticipated. Every swing, every thrust, every roar was absorbed, deflected, or redirected. The alien warrior's pride began to crack. His movements grew desperate, less controlled. How can this be?" he hissed. "This is impossible." The human's knife flicked in his hand, a blur to the naked eye. He leaned forward slightly, tapping the alien's leg joint at the perfect moment. The massive warrior stumbled forward, losing balance completely. The audience erupted into cheers and gasps. No one had ever seen such a small, ordinary weapon outmatch the galaxy's finest. The alien attempted one final strike, swinging wildly, hoping to overpower the human through sheer strength. The human stepped aside, his knife guiding the alien's momentum harmlessly into the ground. The champion fell to one knee, chest heaving, pride shattered. The human finally stood straight, knife lowered, eyes calm, almost serene. The arena was silent. Thousands of spectators stared in disbelief. The humans had survived the first strike, and more than that, they had shown superiority through skill, intelligence, and control rather than brute force. A young alien spectator whispered to another, voice trembling, Did a human just defeat the champion with nothing but a knife? Impossible, the other replied, wide-eyed. But I saw it. It actually happened. The human's small act of defiance did more than win a duel, it shook the foundation of the arena's entire belief system. Aliens who had mocked humanity for centuries now realized that size, armor, and weaponry were not always the ultimate measures of strength. The champion slowly rose, face grim, acknowledging defeat without words. The human didn't celebrate. He simply twirled the knife lightly, a gesture of respect and calm authority. The audience felt it. This was no ordinary human. This was a species underestimated for centuries, now proving that intellect, focus, and courage could outmatch even the galaxy's greatest warriors. And in the silence that followed, one truth became clear to all: the game had only just begun. The arena was alive with whispers, gasps, and the occasional shiver of fear. One human had just outmaneuvered the galaxy's greatest champion with nothing but a kitchen knife. And yet, the challenge was far from over. From the opposite gate, a group of alien warriors emerged, 6 in total, each larger and more dangerous than the last. Their weapons glimmered with energy, blades sharper than anything on Earth. The spectators leaned forward, eager to witness humans fail. The aliens, confident and aggressive, assumed numbers would guarantee victory. The human in the center took a deep breath. His small knife gleamed under the arena lights. He did not flinch. He did not step back. He simply shifted his stance slightly, ready, calm, and deliberate. The first alien lunged, a massive arm swinging an electrified blade. The human sidestepped smoothly, letting the alien stumble forward, momentum carrying him harmlessly past. Another attacker struck from the right. The human twisted, knife deflecting the edge just enough to redirect the strike, leaving the alien off balance. The crowd gasped. The impossible was unfolding again, one human, armed only with a tiny knife, moving through 6 of the galaxy's deadliest warriors without injury. Impossible, muttered a reptilian spectator, scales shimmering in disbelief. No human could do this. The human moved like water, flowing between attacks. Every step, every parry, every sidestep was measured. He didn't strike aggressively, he didn't need to. His opponent's own strength and momentum became their weakness. A simple tap here, a subtle nudge there, and alien warriors stumbled over one another, unable to coordinate. One of the massive alien warriors roared in frustration. Focus. Surround him. He cannot escape all of us. The human's eyes narrowed, focusing on the gaps between attacks. He twirled the knife lightly, almost casually, and moved with perfect timing. One alien swung a massive gauntlet at him, he leaned forward just enough to deflect it into the ground. Another charged with full speed, the human sidestepped, sending the alien crashing into the arena wall. The audience erupted into murmurs and stunned gasps. Every alien strike that should have overwhelmed him was turned into failure. Slowly, the 6 warriors began to falter, their confidence cracking. They had underestimated this human. They had assumed skill could be measured by size and weapon power. A young alien child, watching from the stands, whispered to her companion, Why can't they hit him? He's just human. Because humans think differently, the other replied quietly. They see what we don't see. They use what we ignore. The human's calmness was as powerful as his knife. He moved with precision, controlling the flow of battle. He blocked, parried, redirected. Small motions, almost imperceptible, dictated the chaos around him. His enemies were strong, armed, and aggressive, but the human made them predictable, and then, in a brilliant moment, he turned their strength against them. One by one, the aliens stumbled. A swipe here, a push there, a well-timed sidestep, each warrior fell or lost balance without a single lethal strike. The arena was silent, save for the gasps and murmurs of disbelief. The alien general in the stands bared his claws, fury and fear battling within him. "Stop this. Do not allow a human to humiliate our champions." But the human ignored him. He did not need to fight with rage or violence. His calm mastery and keen intelligence were more powerful than the alien's weapons. Finally, the last warrior lunged with desperation, aiming to end the fight in one strike. The human stepped aside, tapped the alien's shoulder joint lightly, and sent him sprawling to the ground. The arena erupted not with mockery, but with astonished applause and cheers. Even the spectators had never seen such skill. The human stood in the center, knife lowered, eyes calm, sweat glistening on his brow. He did not celebrate. He did not boast. His work was done, for now. The alien warriors rose slowly, pride broken, breathing heavily. They had been defeated not by brute force, but by intelligence, precision, and patience. The lesson was clear: humans were not weak. Humans were dangerous, even with the simplest tools. The arena spectators whispered, or spreading quickly, "This is not luck. This is skill. This is mastery." The lead alien general, metallic claws gripping the railing, muttered under his breath, "They are not just strong. They are cunning. They use our strength against us. They are apex predators." A ripple of fear passed through the alien ranks. What had once been confidence now trembled into doubt. They had assumed humans were weak, unarmed, and easy to defeat. The human had shattered that illusion in minutes. And yet, the human's calm gaze suggested that even this display was only the beginning. His knife, small and ordinary by galactic standards, had proven its worth. The humans themselves had proven their worth. From the stands, one spectator whispered, "If one human can do this, what could hundreds do?" The human adjusted his stance, eyes scanning the arena. The next challenge would come. There would be more opponents, more dangers, more tests. But the calm confidence he radiated assured everyone watching that he was ready. The crowd, now silent and tense, waited in anticipation. Every alien in the arena knew one truth: humans were not only resilient, they were unpredictable, intelligent, and dangerous in ways the galaxy had never seen before. And for the humans, the fight had only just begun. The arena had quieted. Aliens who had once jeered at the humans now watched in tense disbelief. One human, armed with a simple kitchen knife, had outmaneuvered the galaxy's greatest warriors. Yet the trials were not over. The Alien Council, desperate to restore their pride, activated a hidden chamber beneath the arena. Doors made of shimmering energy opened, revealing a labyrinth of alien technology. Moving platforms, laser grids, and force fields were designed to trap, maim, or humiliate intruders. The human stepped forward without hesitation. The knife was in his hand, small and ordinary, yet he held it as though it were a master key to the galaxy itself. Around him, the air hummed with alien energy, and spectators gasped. How can he survive this? The first trap activated, a floor panel shifted beneath him, sending spikes rising rapidly from the ground. He jumped, timing perfect, knife flashing in his hand. But the knife did something unexpected: it glowed faintly, reacting to the alien energy. With a swift motion, he tapped the panel, and the spikes froze mid-rise, harmlessly retracting. The arena erupted in whispers. The knife was interacting with the technology. No one had anticipated this. The human advanced, dodging laser beams and moving platforms. Each time a trap triggered, the knife responded, redirecting energy, short-circuiting minor systems, and guiding his path through the labyrinth with uncanny precision. Alien spectators leaned forward, wide-eyed. "This is impossible." An alien general shouted orders. "Stop him. He cannot manipulate our technology." But the human did not need words or weapons. His focus and understanding of the systems allowed him to move like water through chaos. Traps designed to cut, electrocute, or immobilize him failed one after another, and the crowd gasped louder with every successful maneuver. One massive energy gate swung down toward him, its deadly sweep meant to crush any intruder. The human twirled the knife lightly, tapped the control panel beside the gate, and it froze in mid-swing. With a graceful step, he passed beneath it, untouched, leaving the audience and aliens alike stunned. The whispers turned into fear. Alien leaders realized they had underestimated not just human skill, but human ingenuity. One remarked quietly, "They do not fight like us. They think differently, smarter, faster." The human continued, weaving through laser grids that should have been impossible to navigate. Each movement of the knife seemed deliberate, precise, and somehow connected to the alien technology around him. It was as if the small blade had a mind of its own, or perhaps the human's mind was simply beyond comprehension. A massive robotic sentinel appeared, energy cannon raised, ready to eliminate the intruder. The human approached calmly, knife in hand. A subtle flick and tap, and the sentinel froze. Its systems malfunctioned harmlessly, leaving it motionless and useless. The spectators could hardly believe their eyes. The alien champions whispered to each other in horror. "It is not just a weapon, it is a key," one said. "A tool, yes, but also a symbol of intelligence beyond our understanding." The human moved forward, avoiding traps and disabling systems silently, each step creating tension that gripped the entire arena. Spectators leaned forward, knowing they were witnessing something unprecedented. A simple human, armed only with a kitchen knife, was defeating technology designed to humiliate and kill the galaxy's greatest champions. Finally, he reached the center of the labyrinth. The knife glowed faintly, as if acknowledging its purpose had been fulfilled. The human stood calmly, knife lowered, eyes scanning the arena. The alien council watched in disbelief, unable to comprehend what they had just witnessed. One elder alien muttered, voice shaking, They are not weak. They are dangerous. And this is only a glimpse of what they can do." The human twirled the knife once more, lightly, almost playfully. He did not need to strike, for the lesson was clear. Intelligence, focus, and understanding could overcome raw power, technology, and brute force. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and the consequences were becoming terrifyingly clear. The arena fell silent, the only sound the faint hum of the alien technology now lying dormant under the human's control. The spectators understood a new truth. This small blade, in human hands, was more than a knife. It was a symbol of cunning, adaptability, and the unpredictable strength of a species long underestimated. The human stepped forward, ready for whatever challenge awaited next. His calm gaze swept across the arena, and every alien present felt it. This was not luck. This was skill, ingenuity, and precision. Humans were not to be mocked. They were apex predators in a way no one had imagined. And as the arena lights dimmed, signaling the end of the labyrinth challenge, the whispers spread. A kitchen knife has humbled the galaxy, and humanity's true strength is only beginning to show. The arena was tense beyond measure. Word of the human skill had spread quickly through the stands, and even the most arrogant spectators now watched in silence, fear mixing with awe. The labyrinth of traps had been conquered. The alien warriors who had mocked him were humiliated. And now, one final challenge awaited the champion of champions. From the massive gate at the far end of the arena, the ultimate alien warrior emerged. Towering over all others, clad in gleaming armor lined with glowing energy conduits, the warrior carried a sword that pulsed with raw power. Every step shook the floor, and the hum of energy radiated like a storm ready to strike. The crowd gasped. This was the warrior no human had ever defeated. Every species in the arena whispered tales of his victories. Countless battles had been won with brute strength, unmatched skill, and terrifying weapons. And yet, standing before him was a human armed with nothing more than a simple kitchen knife. The warrior roared, a sound that echoed through the massive chamber. "You dare face me, human? Do you not know your species is weak?" The human did not flinch. His knife gleamed in his hand, small but precise, held with complete confidence. He said nothing. His calm, focused gaze alone was enough to make even seasoned warriors uneasy. The duel began. The champion swung first, a massive arc of energy slicing through the air. The human sidestepped with perfect timing, letting the swing miss by mere inches. Sparks flew as the energy blade grazed the floor. The alien attacked again, faster this time, combining strength, speed, and sheer intimidation. But the human moved like water, flowing through each strike, redirecting momentum subtly, using the champion's own power against him. Every step, every small movement, was calculated. The crowd could hardly breathe. The champion's pride, once unshakable, began to falter. This was not how battles were meant to end. A mere human, unarmored, seemingly fragile, was matching the galaxy's greatest warrior in skill, strategy, and composure. The human twirled his knife lightly, the motion almost casual. And then, with a precise flick, he tapped the champion's armor joint, just enough to throw him off balance. The massive alien stumbled, momentarily unsteady, and the audience gasped. Impossible, the champion roared, swinging wildly. No human could survive my attacks. The human didn't respond verbally. He sidestepped, leaned forward, and tapped the alien's sword with the knife, redirecting its energy harmlessly toward the arena walls. The mighty weapon, meant to intimidate and destroy, now became useless against a tool so small. One after another, the champion's strikes failed. The arena was filled with the sound of clashing energy and the collective astonishment of spectators. Alien generals and ambassadors began to whisper nervously, could a human really be this skilled? Could one tiny knife actually defeat the ultimate warrior? Finally, the champion lunged for a finishing strike, attempting to overpower the human through raw strength. But the human anticipated every move. A sidestep, a flick, and the knife guided the energy sword away harmlessly. The champion fell to one knee, armor scratched but intact, pride shattered beyond repair. The crowd erupted not with mockery, but with astonished applause. Spectators from hundreds of species were on their feet, eyes wide with disbelief. The human had not only survived the duel, he had completely dominated the champion of champions with nothing but a kitchen knife. The human stood tall, knife lowered, gaze calm and commanding. He did not celebrate. He did not shout or boast. His actions had spoken louder than words. The galaxy had witnessed a simple truth: intelligence, patience, and precision could surpass strength, technology, and centuries of pride. The alien champion rose slowly, chest heaving, and bowed slightly, not as submission, but as acknowledgement of defeat. The audience understood the message: humans were not to be underestimated. They were unpredictable, clever, and far stronger than appearances suggested. A young alien in the stands whispered to a companion, "If one human can do this, what could a whole species achieve?" The other nodded, eyes wide. "We thought they were weak. We mocked them. And now, our pride is shattered." The human twirled the knife once more, lightly, before lowering it completely. The arena, silent for a moment, seemed to hold its breath. Then cheers, whispers, and stunned gasps filled the air. History had been rewritten in the span of a single duel. Even the alien generals understood it. The humans had shattered not just the champion's pride, but the pride of countless civilizations that had underestimated them. One whispered under his breath, "The galaxy will never be the same." The human looked across the arena, calm and composed. His mission was far from over, but this moment marked a turning point. The once unquestioned dominance of alien champions had been challenged and lost. The kitchen knife, small and simple, had become a symbol. A symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and skill. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would not forget: never underestimate humanity. And as the human walked away, the crowd, still in shock, understood the truth: humans were not merely survivors. They were apex predators, masters of strategy and intellect, capable of turning the smallest tool into the mightiest weapon. The arena had witnessed the shattering of pride. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of humans. The arena was silent. The air hung heavy with disbelief, awe, and a touch of fear. Hundreds of alien species watched as the human, calm and composed, lowered his simple kitchen knife. He had defeated the champion of champions, outsmarted deadly warriors, and navigated lethal traps. All with nothing more than skill, courage, and a small blade. The alien council sat frozen. Their whispers had turned to stunned silence. Generals, ambassadors, and even young spectators realized something fundamental. They had underestimated humans for centuries, and now the galaxy itself had to rethink its assumptions. A senior alien general, his claws tapping nervously on the railing, muttered under his breath, They are not weak. They are apex predators." The humans did not celebrate. There was no cheering, no arrogance, no boastful display. Instead, they walked slowly across the arena floor, heads held high, eyes calm. Every step radiated quiet confidence, a message to all who watched. Humans were not only survivors, they were intelligent, adaptable, and dangerous beyond measure. In the stands, whispers spread quickly. One alien spectator leaned over to another. "If a single human can defeat our greatest champion, what could an entire army do?" The other shivered, nodding. "We thought they were fragile. We thought they were weak. We were wrong." The champion of champions, still kneeling, looked up at the human. Pride had been shattered, yes, but respect had grown in its place. He slowly bowed his head, acknowledging defeat without words. His armor scratched and dented, his energy soared powerless against the human skill. The lesson had been learned. Humility, intelligence, and focus could surpass even the most terrifying force in the galaxy. The crowd, once loud with mockery and excitement, now whispered and murmured in awe. Reports of this battle would spread to every corner of the galaxy. Every civilization that had laughed at humans would now think twice. The human lifted his knife one final time, twirling it lightly. It gleamed under the arena lights, a symbol of something far greater than itself. It was a reminder that humans did not rely on size, weaponry, or technology to achieve victory. They relied on ingenuity, courage, and precision, qualities that could challenge the very foundations of galactic power. From the alien council chamber, leaders leaned forward, tension clear in their movements. One elder alien said quietly, almost to himself, "The galaxy has changed today. The humans, they are not to be underestimated." The human turned toward the gates of the arena, walking calmly as the defeated warriors and astonished spectators looked on. His presence alone radiated authority and mastery. Aliens who had once mocked humanity now watched in silence, realizing that the species they had dismissed as weak was a force they could never ignore. The arena's commentators, creatures with voices amplified through the chambers, struggled to describe what had just occurred. A human defeated the champion of champions, with only a knife, one stammered. "No one has ever witnessed anything like this. Truly, humanity is extraordinary." In the midst of the arena, the human paused and glanced back at the stands. His calm gaze swept across the sea of alien faces, some fearful, some awed, some proud, but all changed. They had seen firsthand what humans could accomplish. One simple kitchen knife had altered perceptions, shattered arrogance, and rewritten history. Outside the arena, word of the battle spread like wildfire. Across planets, space stations, and entire fleets, aliens recounted the tale of a human who had faced impossible odds, who had turned the smallest tool into the greatest weapon. Fear and respect grew in equal measure. The galaxy had learned a hard truth: humanity was not to be underestimated. And the human? He had done nothing extraordinary by his own reckoning. He had simply relied on skill, patience, and intelligence, qualities that every human possessed, though few realized their true power until tested. The galaxy, however, would remember. The kitchen knife, now a symbol rather than a weapon, gleamed in the fading light of the arena. It represented courage, ingenuity, and the relentless spirit of humans. Civilizations that had once considered humans insignificant now understood a new reality. These creatures, underestimated and mocked, could challenge the strongest, outthink the smartest, and survive the deadliest. As the arena emptied and the spectators departed, whispers of fear and admiration continued to echo. Across the galaxy, leaders held meetings, strategists redrafted battle plans, and warriors reconsidered their arrogance. Humans had made their mark not with brute force, but with intelligence and courage, embodied in a simple kitchen knife that had shattered the pride of the galaxy. And for the humans, the mission had been accomplished. The galaxy now knew the truth: humanity was clever, fearless, and unstoppable when underestimated. The arena had witnessed a single battle, but the consequences would ripple for centuries. The human finally stepped out of the arena gates, knife in hand, calm and composed. The galaxy had seen him. The galaxy had learned. And the galaxy would never forget.